Hi, this is Eman from Sigma TV, and with me today I have Andreas Tsindos, the founder and CEO of MWAN Mobile, but also Magic Payments. How are you doing, Andreas?
Very well, thank you.
Tell me more about you. What's your story? What brought you to Dubai and your interest in blockchain?
So I've started...
It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. There's lots in that. So I'm a civil engineer by trade and got into telecoms back in 2000 and started MWAN Mobile in 2010.
Okay.
Traditional mobile value-added services, bespoke development, and over the years we have developed the fintech enabler for mobile wallets. Think of it like a Swift for mobile wallets, which interoperates the traditional mobile wallet space. Back in 2015,
so the mobile started in 2015, or that was before the payments?
That was before. Mobile
Okay.
wallet enabler platform started in about 2013.
Okay. And you had this product, but you found an issue with having an enabler or to facilitate integration.
To facilitate integrations, right now to this day, most of the traditional mobile wallet ecosystems are not interoperable. Mm-hmm. So we basically wanted to create this glue to interoperate them and allow a third-party kind of aggregation model to exist, but for mobile wallets only, and focus predominantly on that.
Okay, and well, since 2013, quite a number of years to build traction. So you must have a number of companies and brands that you work with.
So we basically have around 12 different countries that we are integrating the mobile wallet ecosystems with. So this is direct integrations to the mobile wallet ecosystem. So it's a cross-border kind of remittance model. So we're FCA regulated by the UK Financial Conduct Authority. Mm-hmm. And this basically allows us to integrate into any of the other regulated mobile wallet ecosystems in the world. Okay. So this is where it's unique in this case, because you're dealing with regulated entities.
Yeah, highly regulated, I must add.
Very highly regulated.
So it's also a company that's carrying the EU flag. So you must have presence also outside of Dubai. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so this is a London-based company. So we have
London-based with offices also in Dubai.
In Dubai as well, yes.
Okay.
So we have a company here as well, on a shore company here.
Okay. Well, we're also doing this interview in the run-up to AIBC in Dubai in May. So I cannot not ask you about your experience settling in here. Why Dubai, and how has it been going so far?
So Dubai is a great place.
What makes it great?
So the sun, for one. You have sun 365 days a year. However, the innovation aspect of the UAE as a whole, and especially Dubai, around the blockchain space, mm-hmm. It's very, very good for a company to come in and be part of that.
How tough was it to come in as a foreigner and set up a company? How was the initial process for you? Was it overwhelming?
So setting the company, it's not easy. You just have to go through all the tick boxes, and
like in most other jurisdictions.
Like in most other jurisdictions, yeah. They have improved that over the last 3 years since I've set up the company here. Mm-hmm. The actual e-digitalization of the processes have been very good. So now to renew your license, it's simply online. You don't even have to go anywhere. Okay. E-signatures are legal here now. So, the aspects of digitalization and digital transformation of Dubai in particular have been very good. So now ease of doing business here in terms of setting up the companies and things like that are much easier.
It helps. And when did you move to Dubai? Which year was that?
So we moved in around August 2018, when we set up here.
Fairly recently. So for a number of years, was predominantly London-based?
London-based company, predominantly, yes.
Okay.
So this is when we moved the operations here for this.
Okay, so a couple of years in Dubai.
Yes.
And have you seen any change in mentality? Is the government embracing blockchain more and more as time goes on? What's your take on?
As we know, Dubai kind of champions itself as the blockchain city since probably 2016. The Dubai Futures Foundation and the Smart Dubai that they've set up. And this is one of the reasons why we looked at coming here to take advantage of that kind of innovative approach and thinking. So they've done really well in terms of this. They have they really engaged all the ministerial departments to embrace the change and adopt the technology. So
it is a holistic approach. It's not just one ministry trying to push.
No, this is kind of mandated from the top. So this is why, in Dubai you can probably get away with it rather than in other countries, because it is a mandate and it gets mandated down.
Okay.
And to be fair to them, they do take it on board and they do try their best. So Smart Dubai, for example, has done a great job.
Yeah. You've been, in fact, mentioning a lot of these organizations, and I also see your star-studded jacket. Tell me a bit more about those badges you have lined up and the organizations you're part of, right?
So these badges are actually always attract attention. One is
can't miss it.
One is the Bitcoin badge. Obviously, it's the Godfather. That's why we're here, basically, because of this kind of thing. Then you have the Dubai Blockchain Center. So Dubai Blockchain Center was set up by Dr. MWAN about 3 years ago, and again he's really setting up the ecosystem, and it's become the go-to person within the UAE for the blockchain kind of ecosystem.
Yeah. So Dr. MWAN is a very good friend of ours, and I agree completely with you that he has taken the lead, and the community has embraced him as a vocal voice for the blockchain industry in Dubai.
Exactly, and he gave me this, and so I've been wearing it, and he's very proud every time he sees me because I'm glad you're wearing it. I'm not even wearing mine, he said. So that's good. And the other one is, being in Dubai, this is Sheikh Zayed. Sheikh Zayed is the founding father of the UAE. So,
it's also in part his vision.
Exactly.
That Dubai has taken the lead on blockchain.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And any organizations you're part of that any of our listeners would do good to join, right? So if you're looking into Dubai, is there something they shouldn't miss to make sure that their process is as smooth and as easy as possible, not only from a compliance point of view, but also from a networking point of view, right?
So you do have kind of 3 or 4 major type of networking groups that you can get involved with. Obviously, the Dubai Blockchain Center is one. You have the EcoX by George Sebastião, and that's grown into kind of a really, really nice networking space predominantly for the blockchain space and for projects that want to kind of engage. And that's a very informal kind of environment, but it does generate a lot of nice leads and business opportunities. Now the DMCC here, which is one of the free zones, has their CEO Ahmed is really a strong proponent of the crypto and the ecosystem and the blockchain.
It is a crypto-friendly free zone.
It's become a very crypto-friendly crypto. So, for example, CV Labs and Ralph from Zook is setting up there. I think have set up there. So it's becoming a very friendly jurisdiction. So with that, back to your question, how easy is it to set up? I would say now it's probably much better to come and speak to the DMCC, because they will take care of from the whole licensing perspective, but also you will pick it back on top of the crypto friendliness of that free zone to engage all the government entities or any other kind of innovation or ecosystems and enablers that they're managing.
Yeah. So that's a bit about where you started from, settling into Dubai, but moving forward, what is the vision for both companies, if I can call them two separate entities, the mobile payment and and enabling platform?
So the mobile payment ecosystem is still very fragmented. So the more connections you get, the more cross-border elements you bring in to basically the model we're going to is micro remittances. So low value, high volume. So you wake up one morning and you're living abroad somewhere, you have family back home, and you want to send $50 worth of value just to say happy birthday or something like that, small gifting type of remittances. And that right now is not really feasible because you probably have to wait 1 or 2 days to go through the traditional banking system. You can use Western Union or the likes, which are either very expensive, and again it's kind of end of day. With the mobile wallets, what it enables you to do is send that instant kind of payment and lands into that user's and person's mobile wallet, and they can go and use it. And especially in these jurisdictions that we're talking about, the mobile wallet is their financial banking kind of tool in a way.
Yeah, and where are you seeing the greatest adoption?
So the adoption right now, you have countries like Pakistan, like India, obviously highly...
Well, there is more need for a solution.
There's more need, but the banking account penetration compared to the mobile wallet penetration is huge. For example, India, 1.3 trillion people, bank accounts are about 200 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Mobile wallets are nearing 800 million, maybe 900 million now. So
you are addressing also the unbanked?
Completely addressing the unbanked and allowing value to go into these stored value accounts of the mobile wallet ecosystems that can then be utilized. So it's a win-win for everybody. So for us on that front is to enable that kind of...
So you mentioned Pakistan, any other regions where you're likely going to see
one other reason we
mass adoption kicking in?
Another reason we came here to Dubai is because the Middle East is a massive outbound remittance market. I think it's about $60 billion worth. I think Dubai itself is about $15 billion. Sorry, not Dubai, UAE as a whole.
Yeah.
So they've just launched the regulation, in fact, to allow this. So the license we have in London, for example, by the Financial Conduct Authority there, now the central bank is starting to look at this regulation. So you can enable this model to take place from Dubai. And obviously it's a huge market. So you have the Philippines, India, Pakistan, Egypt. So you have all these markets that are huge inward remittance markets, and enable that route and that channel to open as well. So this is another reason where we started in Dubai, because I've been talking to the central bank for about 5 years here about enabling and getting this license, but they were never ready, and now they are.
Are you talking to any big players in regions outside the Emirates and the GCC? You mentioned Southeast Asia, for instance. Do you have plans to even set up offices there and to start targeting potential big whales, right?
So the next plan is to go to Singapore and get the MAS license there, and that gives you reach into Central Asia.
Yeah.
Because again, wallet adoption in Central Asia is quite large. Yeah. So that's kind of the plan, moving from London kind of eastwards.
Yeah.
And that's where the US is a big market, US down to South America, but there the regulation.
The unbanked issue is not as rampant, obviously. So
it is for South America. So you're
South America. Yeah. Oh, you're mentioning the whole of.
Yeah. So basically, there's lots of volume. There's about $80 billion worth of value that goes from the US, from USA down to Central America, Mexico,
including Mexico,
Brazil, Guatemala, Brazil, Argentina. All these jurisdictions send a lot of money back home. Again, the US regulation, you need to have, because it's federal. Every state needs to have its own kind of license, so you need to try and get that model. So we're looking at some partnership there with companies that have this cross-state license, where we can piggyback off.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully do that. We are talking right now to the Caribbean, so we're talking to a couple of partners in the Caribbean about sending remittances from Europe back to Caribbean. that route is worth about $800 million a year. So again, it's a fairly large route to target.
Yeah.
And in terms of the blockchain, for us, the enabler has always been about the technology. We want to allow the mass adoption of the technology itself. Okay, you have the crypto world, which is great. However, the technology aspect, the protocol level of the decentralized ledger fundamentals is where we believe it's going to really come into itself, and lots of these large companies to utilize the technology. And
yeah,
that's
so
why
that's where the enabler comes in.
That's where the enabler comes in.
So how do you monetize that?
So the enabler, normally we start off with projects, and we've done kind of real implementations. So for example, we did a physical commodity trading platform for a Singaporean company, and that's just been listed on NASDAQ.
But break it down like to the granular level. An integration usually would take how many developers to handle, and thanks to this enabler, what can you boil it down to?
So the way
in terms of time, resources?
Yes. So the way we've approached it is a traditional kind of platform as a service. So it's API driven, and you're talking technology to the company that you're in discussions with to enable their use case in their traditional kind of technology framework. So you're not going and selling them blockchain in any way. You're selling them what enhancements they can gain from building some infrastructure on top of the decentralized ledgers. So in terms of that, the way we've done it is create a kind of a middleware enabler platform to develop whether it's a proof of concept or MVP to begin with, so they can test and get to play with the technology and understand it a bit more. And that takes typically 6 to 8 week timeline in terms of projects. And this is what we did for this physical commodity trading platform that I said. Their MVP we did in 6 weeks. Now in 6 weeks they were going in front of the big large banks that were managing trade finance and saying, look, we have this solution, we would like to engage you to build, integrate you within our end-to-end physical commodity trading platform that has blockchain enablement integration layers that we can immutably verify the certificates for the goods and things like that, which at the moment is very, there's lots of fraud in this because they manipulate all the certificates, for example. So for coal, just goes the calorific value of the coal, sets the price. So what they do, they manipulate those certificates. So by the time it reaches down the line, that calorific value goes up. So obviously the price of that commodity goes up. However, the commodity is still the same.
So exactly.
So
exactly.
If you use some sort of immutable ledger to verify that through the supply chain, and you're gaining the benefits. So that's kind of where we see. So we get to that MVP level where you prove the value of the technology, and after that they go, they're going to the pilot, and the model we're going with is kind of the initial MVP is more of a kind of one-off type of setup, but then it starts going into the license and then per transaction. But those models are still being defined. I think we're at least 12 to 18 months away now where those kind of models will come in in terms of...
So a lot of action going on the B2C front with the mobile payments, but also now on the B2B front. It's exciting because there's a lot of projects from what I'm seeing happening from within Dubai for the region, and I certainly look forward to see you at the show in May for the AIBC.
Yeah, look forward
and to it. I also encourage all our viewers to join because there's going to be a lot of action at the show, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much.